Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today I'm doing some Kuriboh combos. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys because I'm going to be showing you 6 Kuriboh combos that you need to know to play this deck. And as always guys, if you want to check out the deck profile, it is down in the description down below for every combo video and test hand. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like getting your name script in a single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. So without further ado, let's get into the first combo. For our first combo guys, we're going to be doing something very old school, and that's going to be using Kuriboh plus a multiply. Now the copy of Kuriboh is actually interchangeable with the Flute of Summoning Kuriboh, because Flute of Summoning Kuriboh will just special summon Kuriboh to your side of the field. You just want to make sure you have access to Kuriboh. So what we're going to do is just normal summon out our copy of Kuriboh to our side of the field. Then we're going to use multiply to be able to tribute Kuriboh off the field to be able to summon out 5 Kuriboh tokens, which is really important to instantly get those cards out on your side of the field so you can link climb into some really awesome cards. So what we're going to do at this point is we're going to use 2 of our Kuriboh tokens on our side of the field to be able to go in for an IP Masquerena. Then we're going to go ahead and use another one of the tokens to go in for another Link 1 Link Spider. We're then going to use another one of our Link tokens to be able to go in for a copy of Link Kuriboh. Now once we've used all of those tokens to go into these monsters, we can actually go in for a Link 4 because we have 1, 2, 4 right here. So we're going to go ahead and use all of these monsters on our side of the field to be able to go in for Mech Knight Crusadia Avermax. Now the cool thing about going in for Avermax this way is your copy of IP Masquerena will actually prevent it from being destroyed by your opponent's card effects, and this card already cannot be targeted. So it's very hard for your opponent to get through this card because it also gains the attack points of a monster that's special summoned that battles it, making this card extremely hard for your opponent to deal with. It's pretty much immortal outside of dealing with it with like a kaiju or a random tech card, which is just absolutely crazy. I love that about that play, that it's just so easy with just 2 cards to go in for Mech Knight Crusadia Avermax. Plus, you can actually protect it a little bit more by tributing your copy of your token on your side of the field because it comes out as a Dark Fiend level 1, 300 attack, 200 defense, just like a copy of Kuriboh. So we can tribute this token on our side of the field to bring back our Link Kuriboh, just in case our opponent has some sort of weird normal summon that's going to be as big or bigger than our copy of Avermax. So now we can protect it with Link Kuriboh, which is really cool. I love that about this field, and it's an amazing combo to be able to use with our multiply plus Kuriboh. So for our next combo guys, we're going to start off with 5-star Twilight plus any level 5 monster. Now this can actually be interchanged depending on what your build is, with like a Cyber Dragon, or it can even be a copy of Astral Kuriboh if you reveal any rank 5 number monster to make this card level 5 when you summon it out to your side of the field, which is really cool how easy it is to use 5-star Twilight because it just needs a level 5 monster to give you so much advantage. So what we're going to do is special summon out the copy of Red-Haired Hasty Horse to our side of the field, which pretty much works like a Cyber Dragon, and then we're going to activate our copy of 5-star Twilight. 5-star Twilight is great in this scenario because what we're going to do is tribute our copy of our Red-Haired Hasty Horse from our side of the field to special summon out all of the Kuriboh brothers to our side of the field. Now this is really cool to be able to summon them all out to the field because it's going to give us a lot of advantage to be able to summon these cards out to our side of the field because we can turn all of these cards into a copy of Kuriboh, which is such a cool effect to instantly get a copy of Kuriboh to our side of the field using our Kuriboh's effect. I love that about this combo because all you have to do is basically tribute all 5 of them on the field to be able to go in for our boss monster. Now this comes out at 3,000 attack points, but it's actually not going to stay on the field very long because it has kind of sort of the same effect as 5-star Twilight, but it actually special summons out the monsters from your hand and or graveyard in attack position, which is really cool to be able to do because during your main or battle phase, return this card back to your hand, and if you do, special summon out all 5 of the Kuriboh brothers back to your side of the field from your hand, grave, and attack. So we're going to go ahead and bounce this card back to our hand, and then we're going to summon out all of the Kuriboh brothers all over again, which is going to help us out a lot because we can go in for some really cool plays. Now the cool thing about this is we've gotten some card advantage because now we have a copy of Kuriboh in our hand, And we have the 5 Kuriboh brothers on our side of the field. Now there's a lot of different ways that you can go with this, but don't worry, I'm going to show you guys all those really cool ways that you can go with this combo, because you basically have a bunch of free materials to go on for XZ plays, into Link plays, to summon out Link 4s, whatever you want to do, you can kind of do here. But the main thing that I like to do is when you're going first is actually go ahead and link away 4 of these copies of your Kuriboh brothers to be able to summon out Appaloosa. Now the cool thing about summoning out Appaloosa is you're actually going to summon it out with 4 negates on it, which is 4 monster negates, which is insane. Then we're going to link away our last Kuriboh brother to be able to summon out a copy of Link Kuriboh. So now we have some protection for our Appaloosa, because your Appaloosa, as you use the negates, will go down by 800 attack points. This comes out at 3,200, but as you use the negates, it will go down. So your opponent might try and burn through some of the negates, and if they do, you have the copy of Link Kuriboh to be able to eat one of the attacks, which is really nice. I love that about this combo, that if you're going first, you can establish 4 negates with just 2 cards. That's really good, while also getting follow-up to be able to use later to summon back your copy of Kuriboh, because it also has the ability, if you have more monsters in your graveyard than your opponent, then you can just special summon this card from your hand, giving you follow-up of a 3,000 attack point monster that you can just put on the field. If your opponent doesn't get rid of the copy of Appaloosa as well, you can tribute summon this card and then do the entire combo all over again by summoning out your copies of your Kuriboh brothers, which is really cool because this card is a level 5 monster, so you can just tribute summon it. So for this combo, guys, it's going to be very similar to the previous combo. We're going to start off with Red-Haired Hasty Horse plus 5-star Twilight, and we're going to kind of end on the same thing, but this is going to be going second. So what we're going to do is go ahead and special summon out the Red-Haired Hasty Horse, activate our 5-star Twilight, and do the exact same thing we did just a second ago by summoning out all of our Kuriboh brothers back to our side of the field. Then we're going to go ahead and tag them back in to our copy of Kuriboh. So basically, this is the bread and butter combo that you need to know to play Kuriboh. So we're going to summon out Kuriboh, then we're going to bounce this card back to our hand and summon out all 5 of the Kuriboh brothers back to our side of the field. That is a basic combo of Kuriboh that you want to be able to do to play this deck. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and get rid of one of our Kuribohs to summon out a copy of Link Kuriboh. And once we do that, conveniently enough, we actually have 4 more monsters on the field. So that looks like 2 XZs to me. So what we're going to do is go ahead and make our first XZ summon right here, going into a copy of Embodiment of Punishment. We're then going to go ahead and overlay this right here into a copy of Embodiment of Crime, giving us 2 crazy powerful monsters that actually gain abilities if they're both on the field, which is really cool because they both have the exact same ability that once per turn during either player's turn, you can detach a material from this card and then change all attack position monsters that your opponent controls, or change all monster your opponent controls into face-up attack position. Also, all monsters that your opponent currently controls must attack this card this turn, if able, which is a great ability. But they also gain the ability that while you control the opposite one, they actually gain the ability that this card cannot be destroyed by battle back card effects while it has XZ materials, and your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken from attacks involving this card, which is a really cool ability to be able to use with these 2 because it's going to give you so much advantage to just be able to go in for these plays, to just basically swing into your opponent's monsters so that they take the damage and you don't, which is really cool to be able to do, especially if your opponent has a really big monster on their side of the field. You can just swing with these cards just to basically OTK your opponent using their own cards against them, which is really funny. I love that about this going second, but let's go ahead and get into the next combo. So for this combo, I'm going to show you guys how to break an opponent's board using the copies of 5-star Twilight plus any level 5 monster and any 2 blank cards that you have in your hand. This can be anything that you have. It can be hand traps. It can be additional Kuriboh cards. It doesn't matter. But if you just have 1 in your hand, you can still pull off the combo. But with 2, you actually get follow-up play. So let's go ahead and show you guys what you can do. So we're going to special summon out Red-Haired Hasty Horse and do the exact same play that we did before. Remember, this can be any level 5 that you want it to be. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't have to be Red-Haired Hasty Horse. It can be Astral Kuriboh. It can be a Cyber Dragon, Link Slayer, anything that you want it to be. We're going to go ahead and tribute this off the field, and once we do, we're going to special summon out all 5 of the Kuriboh brothers to our side of the field. And they won't stay very long because we're going to tag them out for a Kuriboh. Just like we did before, we're just going to go ahead and tag all of these out and summon out Kuriboh, and then we're going to use Kuriboh's effect to bounce it back to hand. This is why I said it's very important to have 2 cards in hand, because if you don't, you're going to end up discarding the copy of Kuriboh, which you can do just with these 2, but it helps to have that extra card so you have Kuriboh for backup play later. So now we're going to special summon out all the Kuriboh brothers back to our side of the field thanks to our copy of Kuriboh's ability to bounce itself back and just basically tag into these cards. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and link 2 of them away, summon out a copy of IP Masquerena, go ahead and link another one of them away to summon out a Link Kuriboh, and then we're going to go ahead and link away another 2 of these to summon out either Nightmare Phoenix or Nightmare Unicorn. It depends on what you need to pop at this basically stopping point of the combo. You can either pop a monster with this, or you can pop a spell or trap. Depending on what your opponent has, you can use either of these cards to be able to summon out. Doesn't really matter, totally up to you, depends on what your opponent has on their side of the field. If they have monsters, summon out Cerberus. If they have spells or traps, summon out your copy of Phoenix, just to basically pop the exact thing that you need. We're just going to summon out a copy of Phoenix to our side of the field, just to basically give us some more follow-up later with the copy of Cerberus in case we need to pop a monster, but it's totally up to you. They interchange with one another. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and discard one of our blank cards to the graveyard to basically pop a spell or trap. Now we're going to go ahead and link these 2 cards away, and we're going to summon out a copy of Nightmare Unicorn to spin a card off our opponent's side of the field by discarding another card to the graveyard. Doesn't matter again what it was, we're just going to discard it away. Now we're going to go ahead and use this as basically a 1, and this is the 3, to be able to go in for a copy of Access Code. Now the cool thing about this is the Access Code will actually go up because of your copy of your Unicorn to 53, which is really big to go into for an Access Code. Like, that's pretty standard, but it's still a big monster. But the cool thing about this is you actually not only get that, but you get a banish for the Unicorn, and you get the Phoenix to be able to banish as well, and later you have follow-up with the copy of the Link Kuriboh, which is really cool. So you get a double pop off the Access Code, and we got a pop and a spin off of the copy of the Phoenix and the Unicorn, which could have been a Cerberus. So regardless, you're going to get a pop here, you're going to get a spin here, and you're going to get a double pop here, breaking 4 cards off your opponent's board, while also giving us a 5,300 attack point Access Code by just starting with something as simple as 5-star Twilight and Red-Haired Hasty Horse, which is insane. This leads to all of this, which is insane, with follow-up of our copy of Babylon for next turn, which is really, really good. So for this next combo, guys, I'm going to show you how to summon out an amazing boss monster that comes out with 5,000 attack points. And that's actually going to be Dystopia the Despondent. This is actually super easy to summon in this deck with just a copy of, again, Red-Haired Hasty Horse or a level 5 monster plus 5-star Twilight. So what we're going to do is special summon out the copy of Red-Haired Hasty Horse, activating the 5-star Twilight to be able to summon out all of our Kuriboh brothers all over again. Now this is important to get these cards out to your side of the field, but they're not going to stick around for long because we're actually going to tribute all of them to summon out our copy of Kuriboh all over again, which is amazing how easy it is to pull off this combo in the deck. Then we're going to tag out our Kuriboh back to our hand to summon out all the Kuriboh brothers all over again to our side of the field. But again, they're not going to stick around for long because we're actually going to summon out Dystopia the Despondent. If you guys are unfamiliar with this card, it has 5,000 attack points and 5,000 defense points. It cannot be normal summon or set. It must be special summon from your hand or your graveyard by sending 4 face-up level 1 monsters that you control to the graveyard, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. So we're going to go ahead and send to the graveyard our copies of our Kuriboh brothers to summon out Dystopia the Despondent. Now, the really cool thing about this card is that during either player's battle step, which is kind of weird, you don't hear that on cards very often, it actually has the ability once per battle. Involving this card, you can banish any one level 1 monster from your graveyard, and until the end of the damage step, this card is unaffected by other card effects. Also, it cannot be destroyed by battle, which we actually just filled up the graveyard with 4 different ones, so it has a lot of protection. We're actually going to put another one in the graveyard because we're going to link away the last Kuriboh brother together on our side of the field to summon out a copy of Link Kuriboh. Now, the reason we summon out Link Kuriboh here is because this is actually going to give us a little bit of protection here for our copy of Dystopia the Despondent. So if they make something that somehow gets bigger than 5,000, we can just basically go in and protect it with our copy of Link Kuriboh. You can push a little bit by normal summoning out your copy of your Babylon, but you really don't need to. You really should just leave it like this because it's going to give you protection for Dystopia the Despondent, which, 5,000 attack point monster is probably not going to need the protection, but it's still really cool to be able to summon this card out to your side of the field because it's a crazy powerful boss monster that can be summoned out in this deck. So for this combo, guys, we're going to start off with Skilled Brown Magician and the Flute of Summoning Kuriboh. Now, this is going to result in a really cool field. So what we're going to do is normal summon out the copy of the Skilled Brown Magician. And this card works just like your old school copies of the Skilled Dark Magician, Skilled White Magician, and all those other Skilled Magician cards. Because if you activate a spell, this card will actually get a spell counter on it, and you can remove spell counters to get some really cool effects. So then we're going to activate the Flute of Summoning Kuriboh, which is basically like an E-Telly for this deck, to instantly summon out a Kuriboh from the deck, which is really cool. So we're going to instantly summon out Kuriboh. You can summon out Wing Kuriboh with this card instead, but it's always best to summon out Kuriboh this way to be able to just instantly get that card out on your side of the field because there's so many cool combos. So after this card resolves, we're actually going to get a spell counter on the copy of the Skilled Brown Magician, which is not going to stay on it for long because we can actually remove that spell counter to be able to get an ability to either increase this card's attack by 1,500 and its level by 1, making it a level 5 to use with 5-star Twilight, or to add a Kuriboh monster or Multiply from your deck or graveyard to your hand, which we're actually going to grab a copy of Multiply so that we can use Multiply to activate on our copy of Kuriboh. So once we do, we're going to go ahead and tribute Kuriboh to be able to summon out 5 Kuriboh tokens, or 4 Kuriboh tokens, excuse me, to our side of the field, which is going to be really good to instantly get those tokens on our side of the field so we have 5 monsters on the field so we can go in for some really good plays. So at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and link away these 2 monsters so we can summon out a copy of IP Masquerena. We're then going to go ahead and link away a copy of one of our tokens to summon out Link Spider, then link away another token to summon out our copy of Link Kuriboh. Then we're going to do the same thing we did in the very first combo and link away all of these to summon out a copy of Mech Knight Crusadia Avermax. And this is really good to be able to make Avermax here. Again, just like the first combo, because usually the only way your opponent's going to get through this is with a copy of a Kaiju. So at this point, we also have the copy of Link Kuriboh that's going to go to the graveyard, so we can just tribute this token on our side of the field to summon back our copy of our Link Kuriboh to give our copy of Avermax a little bit of protection on this field, just in case our opponent normal summons something that's bigger than 3,000, which is really off. Like, it doesn't happen all that often. It's really like weird if they do. So it's really going to be tough for our opponent to deal with this card. So that's pretty much it for this combo. So that's going to do for this one, guys. I hope you did enjoy these 6 Kuriboh combos and you learned something for the Kuriboh deck. I absolutely love playing Kuriboh, and if you guys want to check out the deck profile for Kuriboh, as always, it's going to be down in the description down below for every combo video and test hand video on the channel, so definitely go check that out. We're on the road to 100k subscribers, so definitely consider subscribing because it really helps out the channel. So that's going to do for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.